Happy Tuesday, everyone. This video is about feeling led to speak up and address your concerns about what's going on in your community or other states' community, and just addressing it and having your thoughts and concerns about it. And the reason why I wanted to do this video is because my brother Anthony felt that he saw a lot of things at work yesterday, and he was just very bothered by it. He was very bothered by what he saw, what he witnessed. He just felt sad, disgust, emotional, heartbreaking, you know what I mean? He just felt so many different emotions. And Brother Anthony, he's in my I have a group of brothers and sisters in this Marco and Polo, and if anyone doesn't know what a Marco Polo is, it's a video app that you can bring people together, and it's all my brothers and sisters. It's called Jesus is King, and basically this app is about, you know, giving Bible verses, doing worship and prayer, putting out devotional videos and talks as well. It's just about all of us, you know, when we fall short and when we have trials and tribulations, that we are with each other and we are for each other and helping each other out, because we all fall short, and you know, we all are sinners. And it's been helpful, for all of us when we post a video, or if we post, you know, music or a verse or pray for each other. It's been very helpful with all of us. And when he shared a video yesterday that, you know, the conditions that he witnessed while he was working, and let me go back, he's a bus driver in Pennsylvania, so he witnessed and seen a lot of things, you know, people on drugs, people that don't want to pay the bus fare at a certain time, and that they just get into the bus and not paying the fare, and just basically just hopping into the bus for free. And, you know, just people on drugs, just a living condition in Pennsylvania. And, you know, what really broke his heart, and my heart too, when he said it on the video, that he saw a mother and the mother's 13-year-old son sleeping in the bus. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's just so heartbreaking, you know, to hear that. And especially for the teenager boy, that's something that you cannot erase. That's something that you can't just remove from your mind. You know, that's something that he's going to live with, you know, forever. And it was just really heartbreaking for Brother Anthony to see that. And for me, yes, it's very heartbreaking, but hopefully that will motivate that 13-year-old to stay in school, to get the best education that he can get, and do something with his life so he can provide for himself and for his mother, so he never have to worry about where he's going to end up sleeping next. You know, and I know it's easy said and done when you feel discouraged and you feel like there's no hope, but there's always hope when you put God first. There's always hope when you just trust your life and put your life in your hands to God, so he can help you with your circumstances. And I know people are going to say, you know, it's easy said and done, Cheryl. You know, you wouldn't know because you never live in that circumstances or that living situation. And you're right. But I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of trials and tribulations. I may not be homeless, and I may not been on drugs, but I've been through trials and tribulations that I almost could have been homeless. And that's another video I will share later on about like my life. But I trusted God, and I had faith that things would be okay. God would turn it around, because I had faith and I had hope, and I believed that, you know, my circumstances is not going to be forever. And, you know, when Brother Anthony was just feeling like so down and disgusted, and like, how could people, you know, live in these circumstances? How could people like do all this and take drugs and be where they're at? And I can honestly say, I don't know. Only God knows. You know, we don't know what happened to these people, why it led them to drugs, why it led them to be on the street and be homeless. Only God knows. And all we can do is just pray for them, that hopefully they can turn their life around and make a difference in their life and make a change. And the thing is that they have to be willing to want change. They have to be willing to like get help from someone. And some people are very prideful and they don't want to ask for help. They don't need help. They just feel like, you know what, I'm just going to let it be. This is my life. And I have to say, no, it's not your life. You can do something about it if you are willing to change. And I always thought that people can't change, and I have a different mindset now. People can change if they want to. If they put their mind to it, you can change. You honestly can. But the question is, do you want to change? Do you want to change your circumstances, or do you just want to feel pity for yourself and whine and say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm not getting help from this person, or I'm not getting guidance from this person? You can, if you do the research and if you put God first and pray about it, that God can turn anything around when it comes to your circumstances. He moves people. You can be at one place and then he moves you to another place. That's how God works. But you have to have faith and you have to have trust that things will happen, you know? And if you don't have that, then what do you expect God to do if you just don't have faith in him and you just doubting him that he's not going to turn your situation around? But you have to be willing to do the work, and you have to change as well. You know, we all have free will. We all can have decisions to make. But the question is, are you willing to make that changes? Are you willing to sacrifice that? And that's what Brother Anthony was like saying in his video. And I'm just paraphrasing, you know. And he had like 2 questions. And he wanted all of us, you know, to give our thoughts and our opinions about it. So I'm going to read you the first question that he asks. The first question is, how can we love someone who doesn't care for themselves? And that's a really, you know, that's a really good question. And my answer is that we all have to love one another, whether they don't love themselves. Because you know what? God loves all of us. And we all are sinners. We are all not perfect. We all fall short. And he loves each and one of us each and every day. Even though when we act like a fool, or we slip up, or we're doing something that we're not supposed to do, he still loves us. And that's the answer that I gave to Brother Anthony, that we still have to love one another, because it says it clearly in the Bible. Love your neighbors. The second question Brother Anthony asks all of us, how can we care about someone who doesn't care for themselves? Now, if someone's not willing to change your life and change their circumstances, it's okay to turn your back on that person, because you don't want to enable anyone or any person. However, you can still continue to pray for them, that they can turn their life around. You know what I mean? Whether they want the prayer or not, you can still pray for them. You can still turn your back away from them, but you can pray for them within a distance, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't think that you should stop praying for the person, whether the person wants it or not. Some people don't want prayer. Some people don't want to hear it, but we have to pray for everyone, because they need it, and they're broken. You know what I mean? They've been through a lot. They've been like, what's the word? Been let down probably throughout their life. You know what I mean? That they just like give up, and then like, I just don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear prayer. And we shouldn't stop, because I wouldn't want anyone to stop praying for me. You know, I want people to pray for me and continue to pray for me within the distance. So I told him that. I told him that you still have to pray for everyone, whether they want it or not, whether they deserve it or not. Who are we to judge them? You know what I mean? Who are we to judge them? We shouldn't. It's up to God to judge them and their circumstances. All we can do is just love them, pray for them, and hopefully they will turn their life around. And I'm just very surprised, like the mayor of Pennsylvania, Charlene Parker, I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly, but if I mispronounce her name, sorry. Obviously, she has to know the living situation in the community in Pennsylvania. She has to be aware of what's going on with the drugs, the homeless, and all this stuff that's going on. And you would think, I don't know, that she wants to clean it up and make it better a more better, living situation for these people. I don't know. Again, I'm not familiar with Pennsylvania law. I don't live there. I'm just going by what Brother Anthony was saying in the Marco Polo. But I will think that she wants to do something about it, to make it better. But I don't know. And then his other thing is that people feel like they should. People feel like they love living like this. They enjoy living in the situation that they're in. Again, I don't know. You know what I mean? So I couldn't answer that question, but I don't know. To be honest, I don't think anyone wants to live in a condition that they have to sleep on a bus or out on the street and not knowing where the next meal is going to be or where they're going to lay their head. I don't know. Again, we don't know people's circumstances, and obviously, I'm not saying Brother Anthony is judging, and I'm not judging either, but we don't know. But you do have, on the other hand, you do have people who are not willing to change and who just love the drugs and love taking advantage of everything, and then just don't care. You know what I mean? Just don't care. And we still have to pray for that person. But I don't know, when he says that some people enjoy living that life, living that lifestyle or having that lifestyle. I don't know. I can't answer that. I can't answer that, to be honest with you. I just can't. And I don't know. Maybe some people do love enjoying that lifestyle and, using drugs and being on the street and just taking advantage and not paying, bus fare or anything else. It's just heartbreaking because you see it everywhere. You see it in New York, Chicago, Pennsylvania, Florida. You see a lot of circumstances, a lot of homeless people, a lot of people on drugs, and it seems like they don't care. And again, we should, pray for them that hopefully they can turn their life around and make a difference for themselves. And like Brother Anthony said, you do have some people who enjoy it and they don't want to change and they feel like there's no hope. Like, why should I change, or why should I even bother, doing X, Y, and Z when I haven't had any assistance or help or anything from anybody? So I'm just gonna. People just learn to accept it, basically. They learn to accept their situation. This is the way it is. Nothing's going to change, and that's it. Some people just get defeated, And I'm saying people should not be defeated. If you're willing to change, if you're willing to change your circumstances, put Christ first, pray, and take one day at a time. And like I said, God can turn anything around. He loves all his children. He loves all his brothers and sisters. Whether you turn your back on him or whether you're going back to God, he loves everyone. And at the end of the day, all we have to do is just pray. Just pray, whether people want it or not. We just have to pray and love each other. And that's all I'm going to say about this topic. Thank you so much for listening to my unfiltered real talk. Talk to you soon. Bye.